everybody, KC0VI Tom. Yeah, I know this video's come out a little later than normal. I like to get these out Friday morning. It's filming this Sunday morning due to the fact this last week I had some little setback mentally. Needed a few extra days to get my head in the right shape. What was going on, I was cleaning up the Class C poo, getting ready to go, and it hit me harder getting rid of that thing than I thought it would. So one of those deals. But during the week, I did get some good news from the Mitchell County Conservation. I forget what the whole name is. I believe it was Monday. The county park up at Stacyville. There's too many towns in this countyville. Riverside Park opened up Monday. Hey, this is pretty nice. Then Friday morning, I'm sitting at work. I got a text that the Cedar Bridge Park down in Osage is opened up, ready to go. Go to the website for what sites are open on both of these county parks. It's been a long time since I've seen campgrounds opening up before Easter. I mean, you know, we got a couple more in the county to get open up, and they'll probably happen this coming week. But the winter this year in North Iowa wasn't that bad on snow level. It got cold a couple times. We did get snow. We did have a blizzard, but our snowpack wasn't as great as it normally is. Right now, if we peek out here, there are no snowbanks. As you can see, the grass is getting greener, and so the chance of flooding is not from melt off, but it could be from heavy rains. We are scheduled for some heavy rains this afternoon tonight. But the reason I'm so excited about, as you can see, we have Tigger and Maryland set to go. What we want to talk about today is towing. Doesn't matter if you're a longtime camper or a newbie like me. This will be my second season towing. For 10 years I was driving a Class C, but now we're going to do some towing. It's been a while since I've been towing, and a few things we'll talk about that the old man told me when I was growing up, what to do, what not to do. So what we'll do here, we got Maryland here. If you're new to the channel, Maryland is the 2021 Ford Bronco Sport Badlands Edition, and Tigger is a new Camp Tab 320S. S is in standard. We got them all hooked up. We got the lights on. We'll see why. Now when you hook these up, and I got this wrong, we'll have to fix that. We want these crisscross in case the tongue should come unhitched from the rail, the ball, it's going to catch that. I'm not quite sure how accurate it is, but it is required. Your electrical cable, this is a 7-pin, and one thing the guy I bought it from recommended to do this, and I've never heard of this. You run the cable through your pin here, keeps it off the ground. Good idea. I do have the breakaway over here. This is one thing the old man told me from a long time ago. On your tow trailers, buy a receptacle for your cable, your electrical cable. So when you're not camping, you can unplug this from here, plug it in here. That's going to protect the connections, keep them nice and clean. And when I was going online, the local parts store didn't have one in stock. So when online, this one's actually got a toggle switch in the back. If you go back a few episodes, you'll see what that'll do is run 12 volts to your marker light. So at night, you can actually turn the lights on the camper. Unfortunately, Tigger doesn't have that many marker lights and tail lights. So then once you get all hooked up correctly, you want to start up front here, trying not to walk in the mud, Crawley. I got the lights on the four ways. So we have turn signals going. We got our side marker there going. We get down here to the camper. We got markers going. Then we come around back. You always want to do this walk around. We got markers and taillights. And here on this side, the step is up, the door is shut. The door should be locked so it doesn't pop open as you're going down the road. And what we'll do, what you want to do, you know, this first time after the year with this, is find a place, large parking lot, high school, shopping mall, or some company that's not open on the weekends, and just borrow one corner of the parking lot and practice driving and backing up. We're in our walk around success. And little Duke, where you at, Duke? There's Duke. He's along for the ride because he's going to be the new camping companion. One thing I will have to do is make a quick video on that here coming up. That is a temperature pressure monitor for the trailer. And something you should have on your trailer. It took a while to find that. That was on Amazon. But if you look at the dash, it's going through the normal, this, that. I can't use my backup camera. I can't use my assist, and there's something plugged in the trailer plug. Now, if you remember back in driver's ed, they always told you when the center of the car gets to that maximum point of the curve, that apogee of the curve, I guess they call it, that's when you want to turn. That way you're not going to cut in and hit the curve or, too short or too late. When you're towing, you got to remember that also. Now you go from the whole length of your vehicle and the tow, whatever you're towing. So that's going to be back there, probably about the rear bumper on this girl. Another thing the old man told me, we'll get going and real slow here, is when you first get going, tap the manual brake on the brake control of the trailer, and that's going to let you know that A, your brakes are working, and B, the trailer is hooked up correctly. It didn't fall off the ball. So let's head down to the high school and we'll play around down there. Now when you're towing, one thing the old man told me was you don't need to go the speed limit. Pick a nice speed that your tow vehicle feels comfortable towing in their trailer, and you got a plan for extra stopping distance because you got a couple thousand pounds back there you normally don't have when you're driving your car. Expect performance of the rig to drop off because again, you're towing a couple thousand pounds of extra stuff. And we'll kind of sneak out here further. Then we'll start our turn. You look in the mirror. We didn't overshoot. We didn't undershoot. So it comes back to you. I mean, if you're a newbie, again, get out in these practices. And that's one thing everybody does in different careers. They don't really say it's practice. If you want to have a good laugh about practicing, do a search on YouTube about speed check. It's about an SR-72 crew. The guy was going through, the pilot was explaining how him and the rear seater, they've been flying a bunch of these missions. They start out in Beale Air Force Base in Northern California, fly up the coast. Somewhere in Washington State, they cut across to the other side of the Rockies and started heading down to either Oklahoma, or New Mexico, Texas, depending on how far out they fly. Then they, as he says, we did a right turn at Albuquerque. Well, that's where Bugs Bunny got it, I was told. Then they fly across to California and run up the Sierras to Beale. And I won't get into the speed check portion, but it is hilarious. They're doing these runs to get the crew together so they can think as one team, as a good team. And the other thing they're doing, they're actually doing connections with tankers. They'll fly up to a tanker, connect up to it. Now, they're not transferring fuel, and not only are they connected to these tankers, but also other aircraft practicing. They're not transferring fuel. They're just going up there, connect, do a 5-count disconnect. It's really interesting. If you're in an area where you got a tanker doing these practice, dial up on their frequency. It's really interesting to listen to those guys talk. We got another corner coming up here. We'll, again, go pat it. The first couple times, it does not feel normal when you go past your turn point. Then you turn, and I was a little too long on that one. Let's head to the parking lot. We made it to the high school parking lot, and I picked a good weekend. There's absolutely no cars in the front or the back. We're in the back parking lot here. I was going to do this a couple weeks ago, and this place, I swung by here before I hitched up the trailer, and it was a lot of cars here. I remember, oh yeah, prom. Okay, big deal in high school. Let's get out and we'll kind of explain what we're going to do. We are out here in the parking lot. I put the B-roll camera there. What we're going to try to do is I'll pull up a little further, then come back. And can I explain how I learned how to back up? And for you experts, I did cross the chains this time. So again, visual inspections, do that walk around before you take off. We're gonna try this, see how bad we do. Note to self, do not run over the B-roll camera. The old man, like I said many years ago, taught me when you're backing up a trailer, try to start out as straight as possible. We got a little, not straight here, we'll, okay, now we're straight. Then, the trick in backing up is grab the bottom of the steering wheel with your hand, somewhere in the bottom. This one's got this fork in there, you can't do it. Now that's the back of your trailer. So if you want to go, the back of the trailer to go left, you rotate this to the left. You want to go to the right, you rotate to the right. And the big thing he kept stressing me, go slow. There's a time delay. When you give the input here to tell the trailer to go one way, it's going to be quite a few seconds before the back end decides, oh, you want me to go this way? And the common problem what people have when they start backing up and they start turning, nothing's happening. Next thing you know, they're turning more and more. Then all of a sudden, the thing breaks free. You go, oh my God, and you're trying to go, you're going every which way you can. And so just be aware of that. I had a weird warning light shop up on the dash, tire pressure. I wonder if my TPMs are interacting. So let's give this a try. And again, I'm not expecting to get this on right on the first times. I know. Let's go back there and see how close we are to our marks, and we'll go from there. What's better, Zook? What are we doing? At least Daddy wasn't saying those nasty words, so. Yeah. We're in the parking square. We did have to do a couple, like I said, a couple passes. Don't expect it to get done correctly on the first time. And we didn't run over the B camera. And it wasn't rolling. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, the B-roll camera did not run. I must have double tapped the button. These little cameras are a little finicky on the button pushing. I know this one here, to get the front screen on, you hit one button. If it's not a long pause, put it in front screen, it goes to picture mode. That's why every once in a while you hear me say, oh, we had last video, we had a technical problem with the camera. Not really with the camera, with me. We'll come around here again. Again, this is all good. Practice. Don't, again, come out here where you're not going to back anything. Nobody's going to sit and point fingers and laugh at you. We do that at campgrounds. You sit in your lawn chair, cooler of beer, and watch people try to back in. And DLGs get mad at me when I do that. So, okay, here we go. We're going to try this again. It wasn't pretty, but we're kind of in, and we'll take a look at the B-roll here. And of course, the first time was okay. This time it was a little bad. I got off quite a bit. Honestly, the first one was better. Well, Duke, what do you say, huh? Did I go for car rides, huh? He still has some separation anxiety. He's shaking a little bit. He's not quite sure what's going on. We'll get going here. Again, TPM. We'll do a quick video on that. I just threw that on here the other day. I believe these tires are supposed to be running at 50 pounds and they're at 44. Not bad. They are nitrogen filled, but I'm just going to top them off with just air out of the compressor. Before anybody goes nuts on that, nitrogen will leak out of your tires. That's the salesman tactic, saying that nitrogen will not leak. The reason they use nitrogen in racing, that's what everybody does. Well, the race cars are doing it, so we got to do it. Nitrogen is a known gas that expands and contracts at a certain rate. All gases are like that, I should say. Air coming out of your air compressor is a mixture of gases. Right now you're breathing in, if I remember right, it's like 78% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and that leaves like 98 total. So we got 2% of mixed gases. These are oddball gases: carbon monoxide, or carbon dioxide, argon, stuff in the air. Now when that air warms up, we don't know how much pressure we're going to gain, or if it cools off, we're going to lose, due to the fact that gases expand and contract at different rates. They use nitrogen so they can leave the garage or the pits with a set of tires, and they know it's going to be this many pounds per square inch. Then when they get up to temperature, it's going to increase to this. The tire pressure is really critical on race cars and on towing vehicles and trailers. You want to make sure you got enough pressure in there so you got a good footprint of the tire on the ground. If you're over pressure, you get a dome shape on the tire, so your area of contact with the tire to road is really small. Under pressure, now it's caving in, and again, that's even less. And a low pressure tire will actually heat up faster than a normal tire or an overinflated tire. It's just due to the fact it's flexing more. That, real important. holiday weekends or early morning like this, go out and drive around, hook up your rig, do some practice runs. When we first got to Class C, we would go all over. I mean, just for a ride out in the country. One time it was really windy and I talked her into going out for a ride, and we got bounced around a lot, but I learned a lot. Again, don't be afraid to make mistakes. As you saw on my backup on that, let's head back in. I know, Duke, that was stressful. Yeah, I've got it backed into the tent. We'll go back there, see how bad we did, and I didn't hear anything crunch, so we'll take a look at the other camera, the B-roll, and see what's going on. Duke, you gotta learn how to be a ground guide, you know? It's a lot easier. Come on. It's a lot easier if you got somebody behind the trailer helping you back up. Try to find that special person. Duke, you wanna do that, huh? You're a little worried. And get your signals before you start doing it, and that will cause more arguments than anything else, where I think my hand's going this way is one thing and the other person thinks to mean something else. Have a little, you know, meet up, says, okay, this means this means that, and take your time. This is not a race to get your camper set up or anything, and you don't want to run over anybody or run over anything. On that, I'm going to teach Duke how to back up the signals. 7-3, everybody. Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams, subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out. Add comments below. 7-3, everybody.